Hi everyone, I'm Mijean Rochus. Welcome to my Instagram live stream. And today I have with me, I will have Joshua, who is an international model, and we'll have a chat where we will talk about how it is to be an international model because he's traveling a lot, and also the requirement what is needed to be international model, um, and also some myths that are in the industry. We'll talk about that, and also about relationship that he has. Hi Gloria, hi everyone. So we'll go live soon. I will try to connect with Joshua.
What'd you
Yes,
say?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I thought for today in our conversation a bit to talk about modeling because you travel a lot. You have been traveling a lot for modeling,
Yeah, I have
and
lately,
also
yeah.
about some myths in the fashion industry because some people that are watching believe in some kind of myths and say like, okay, we are going to discuss that today and how to be yourself as well in the fashion industry. Okay,
Mhm.
so I will let you present yourself first because not everyone knows you as well. So you can go ahead.
Well, I'm Joshua Ray, and I am 22 years old. I'm from the U.S. and Raleigh, North Carolina.
Mhm.
And right now I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
And represented by which agency?
In New York, I'm represented by Red, but in Milan, I'm represented by Urban
Mhm.
Model Management. And in Korea, I'm represented by Ever.
You see, it's a little bit all over the world, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joshua, your roots, you are born and raised in the US, or you have also mixed? Yeah.
Yeah, I was born and raised here.
Okay. How did you get discovered?
I actually reached out to a mother agency on Instagram, and we just went from there, and she signed me, and then we
Mhm.
went to New York, and that's when I got signed in New York. But
Okay.
all my other agencies, they reached out, they found me on Instagram.
Okay. So you did the first step yourself, or did someone tell you like, okay, you should be a model or something like that?
Yeah,
Someone told you that, and then you said, okay, let's try, let's give it a try.
it's always
How
been a
did you go
thought.
exactly?
So it's always been like a dream of mine, but in the back of my head, I didn't think I would be able to accomplish it. And then I kept hearing, oh, you should model, you should do this.
Mhm.
And then that's when I reached out to somebody on Instagram.
And why you thought you couldn't do it?
Where I'm from, it's like people are always like, oh, you can't really have a career or make any money off of modeling. So I didn't really think there was any point in pursuing it.
Mhm.
But then I started looking into it and doing my own research, and I
Okay.
found some potential there.
Okay. And how did your parents react? Did they say, okay, you go for it, or they said, no, nothing for you?
Well, my dad was mostly skeptical about it because he was thinking the same thing. He was just like, you need to go to school and secure an education first, so you can get a good job and be secure financially. And
Mhm.
my mom, she was kind of the same way, but she was a little bit more supportive when I actually started to pursue it. And then when I turned 18, I was just like, if I get signed, then I'm going to move to New York and pursue modeling. But if not, then I'll go to college. So
Okay.
then I
So
ended
you
up getting
started a little
signed.
bit before you turned 18, huh?
Yeah, like actually right when I turned 18.
Okay, then you started immediately said, I give it a shot and then we'll
Yeah,
see how it goes. But it turned out well, so
yeah.
that's it. Okay. And in the industry, because modeling industry, we talk a lot about labels. So usually we are labeled this kind of model, this kind of model. What is your label? I know that we don't like to be labeled, but usually you have some kind of a label in the industry. What is yours
Like
as a model?
fashion, like
Yes,
that. Um, I guess I
yes.
wouldn't. I guess you could say I'm a fashion model. I like commercial too, like
Yes,
a good
fashion
mix.
also. Yeah. So you do both fashion and
Yeah,
high fashion, and also more commercial as well. Eh?
yeah,
Mhm. And you know a little bit like the requirement because you go to a lot of castings. So I think by now you know a little bit what they ask you to be like.
yeah. They like more natural look. My agency, they don't like when I dye my hair like this, but I figured, since in quarantine, why not?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But my favorite between commercial and fashion, I think I like runway better because it's just more exciting
Mhm.
and with all the cameras
And what's
everywhere.
exciting about what the excitement about the runway stuff is like?
Just the fashion parties, fashion week, meeting all these people and traveling.
Mhm.
It's fun.
And and when you are gone for fashion weeks, you are gone for how many weeks like that? It's like because it doesn't stop. I start.
It's like a month,
It's like a
like
month.
3,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you start where? Is it is it from New York and then
Yeah, New York. Wait, I think it's isn't it Paris first, then Milan, and then New York. I'm not sure.
no, New York? I think it's more New York because me as a photographer, it's like New York, London, Milan, Paris.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm. So, but I met you for the first time. I think it's as Discreet or Numero fashion show. That was the first
hmm
time I saw your face. I was like, okay, this is someone that's interesting. I need to get connected.
Yeah, that was my first time in Milan.
Mhm.
It was really fun.
Yeah. It was last year.
Yeah, last year, last
Yeah.
summer.
With which fashion week have you started before? Was it Milan or New York?
New York.
Okay. And how was that to do like, yes, your first New York Fashion Week? Can you recall it?
My first New York Fashion Week, it was really hectic. I just remember going on all these castings and then getting mixed feelings between clients and stuff. But once you book the show, it was just like really exciting, especially the night of the show, because like everybody's getting worked up, everybody's getting makeup, hair, everybody's doing something, and then you're just in the mix of everything.
Mhm. So
But it can be
and you
kind of
meet also,
nerve-wracking
and why is it that it's kind of nerve-wracking?
because all this pressure and attention is on you. And then when it's your turn to walk, it's like you can't mess up. You only get one turn.
Mhm. You have to get it right. And what is the
Yeah.
most tricky stuff like when you are like waiting to go on? It's like, what do you fear most? Because it's also nerve-wracking. I know, like, and you have some yes.
Mm,
What can be?
I'm just excited and ready to just get out there and kill it.
Mhm.
And because I just know it's going to be a lot of cameras. And then sometimes there's famous celebrities out there watching. You just never know who's going to be in the crowd.
Okay. And what about the castings? Because you have to go to a lot of them, as well. And is it easy to do, or is it something that you say like I don't like really very much, or how do
Mm,
you?
in New York, I feel like it's easier. But when I got to Paris, it was so much more of a headache because it's a whole lot of walking. And then there are some days where you have more than 10 castings in one day and you barely have time to eat. So that's the most annoying part.
And at what
It's
time
just
do you wake up when you have a casting day like that? Do you 10
like
cast,
7 in the morning,
and you finish at what time?
like 7 p.m.
And what are the things that
Finish.
you take along? Because I think when you wake up this early and you have a long day like that, you have to have some things to keep you going. What do you take along? What are the most important things that you have with you?
Definitely water, especially in the summer. And I love keeping granola bars or like some fruit like an orange or something with me. And if I can, I'll stop and get a sandwich.
if you can.
Yeah, 'cause it's a lot of waiting time, especially when there's a lot of models. Like
What is the longest that you have to had to wait for at the casting? Because
there was one time where the model line was literally wrapped around the block, and I would say like maybe 2 hours.
and then you still have to do the other ones.
Hmm.
Are you
And then you
often
can't.
late or not? Do you always manage to get on time to each casting? Or
For Fashion Week castings, I try to get there as early as possible, even if it's like 30 minutes early,
Mhm.
just so I can go ahead and get it out of the way because I know that right when the casting starts, that's when a lot of models try to get there, and then you're stuck in a long line
Mhm.
when you have like a lot more castings to go to after.
Okay. And during fashion weeks, do you have like a group that you go along and say, I prefer to do everything by myself, I don't need company and so on?
It's better going with people that you know, that way you can feel more relaxed and stuff, but you know, there's a lot of times where you'll eventually have different castings at the same time.
Mhm.
So you have to part ways at some point.
Okay. And when you go like that, you have your book with you, and then it's like, what kind of pictures you say it's definitely need to be in my book when I go to castings?
Yeah, usually I carry a book, but I found that it's easier to like if you have a tablet with all your pictures on it.
Mhm.
But it's good to have a good variety of pictures, like fashion editorial pictures and then commercial, just so they can see like
So that
different
it
sides of you.
different sides of you. Okay.
Hmm.
Mhm. And then you said as well, when you go to castings, you go natural without anything, and you don't wear any makeup, huh?
No.
Ah,
Mm-mm.
see. Because there's also some of the things, one of the questions I had, like people say like, okay, how do I go? Do I have to wear makeup or something, or how do I dress? So, yeah, so,
For Fashion Week castings, I like to dress like with my personal style. That way I can stand out a little bit and wear some nice shoes that are comfortable to walk in because they're gonna ask you to walk for Fashion Week castings.
and what is your personal style? If you
Mm,
can you give a hint? You don't have to tell everything, just a little bit. I'm always curious.
I don't know. My style kind of switches up. It depends on like how I'm feeling that day. Some days I feel like wearing a nice boots with some slim, nice fitted clothes. I love pattern pants and old school style shirts and stuff.
And you wear that for all the castings you have on that day. You don't go and change. You don't have time, I think.
Right.
Okay. You know why I'm asking this? Because a lot of them are also models or aspiring models are asking, okay, how can we do it? I say, like, I just ask Joshua, he'll know. Uh, and when you do those castings, is that do you have to, how do you deal sometimes with rejections? Because it's I know it's when you do a lot of them, it's not always easy, and you are not always accepted to all the shows. So how do you deal with that?
Hmm. When I first started modeling, I wasn't really used to rejection that much. I didn't expect like models actually get turned down a lot as much as they do. But I just had to realize that it wasn't anything on my part. It's just what the clients wanted. And I couldn't take it to heart like, oh, I'm not good enough or something like that. That's never the case. It's just that's not what they were looking for. and stuff like that. So you just got to continue to be yourself and move on. Don't let it phase you.
Mm. And did it take a lot of time to get over it, or was it like you needed some time to get used to that part?
Um, maybe if like I remember in the beginning, I wasn't really getting booked a lot, but then once I started booking some more jobs, that's when my confidence was stronger.
Yeah, because it was pretty amazing. Like first time in Milan to be booked for this great numero and so on. So yes.
Hmm. And before I went to Milan, it really was a risk for me because before I went, I didn't know which shows I was gonna book or how many I was gonna book. So
Mhm.
you're really taking a risk of, you know, not making money or making money or not making as much money, you
Yeah,
know?
because for the trip, I think you have to pay your own trip in the beginning.
Yeah,
Because this is something that a lot of models don't know. They say, okay, model, I'm going to Milan, everything. They're going to pay everything for me, but it's not the case, I guess.
right.
So,
It takes money to make money.
mhm. So for you, it was like a guess as well. Because how did you decide to go? Because I know some models say, okay, if I can have opportunity to do a lot of castings and book more jobs, I go. Otherwise, I don't go. How was it with you?
Mm, I was talking to my mother agent a lot, and she kind of helped me get over my doubts. And I was going to be, at first, I was only going to go to Paris, but then I realized I was signed in Milan, and they were reaching out and wanting me to go
Yes.
there too. So my mother agent thought it was a good opportunity, and I kind of felt that it was good deep down in my spirit, so I just went for it.
And you went for it. Okay. And what is the nicest memory you had? Because you said you speak about Milan. What's the nicest memory you had from Milan?
Um, the I feel like when I went to Milan, I was able to meet Donatella Versace, and she just seemed,
Amazing.
yeah, she was really amazing. She loved my look, and then I met the designers for D Square, and they loved me too. As soon as they see me, they were like, "Oh, you're a star." And then I was like, "Okay,
What
I
goes
know
to
I
your
booked that
mind
one."
when somebody says something like that, like you're a star or something? What goes exactly to your mind?
I'm just really baffled because before I even moved to New York, I never thought I would have been going international, let alone booking like jobs with high designers like D Square.
Exactly. But you
Yeah,
did it. So,
yeah.
mm. And how do you deal with the waiting? Because I know for me as a photographer, I know it's a lot of waiting as well for models too. So how do you deal with that? Because the show is only maybe 20, 25 minutes, but you have
Hmm.
to wait a lot. How do you deal with that? Do you
I kind
rebook
of
or do you still?
already, I just mentally prepare myself because I just know it's going to be a lot of waiting regardless. So I just make sure I have some snacks because if I'm hungry, it's just going to be worse. And I make sure I keep my portable charger so I can always have my phone charged up and then I won't get bored.
Mhm. And when you are moving from one casting to another, it's like you have this little roadmap. I think I've seen a lot of models with their phone trying to find their way there. Are you never
Mhm.
nervous, or you say, okay, I'll just go for it and see how it goes?
Yeah, it's pretty easy navigating. I feel like once, because I lived in New York, I got used to always on the GPS and finding my way to different castings. So it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
And two, like during Fashion Week, you'll see a lot of models. So once you see maybe a few models together, you can just follow them, and they're probably most likely going to the same casting you're going to.
Okay. and also have, yeah, so see, you make new friends this way. And
Yeah.
also wanted to ask because modeling is also a lot about maintaining looks and keeping fit and everything that comes with it. How does
hmm
it work for you? Is it easy, or you don't have to do anything for it, or it comes from itself? Or how?
It's been pretty easy for me because I have a high metabolism,
Mhm.
and but I also like going to the gym pretty often. So I try to work out
Pretty often,
at
how,
least
how
three
many
times
times?
a week.
How many times?
At least 3 times a week.
Yeah, so
But
that's a good. That's good.
yeah, but
And
since the gyms are closed now, I haven't been able to do much with working
how,
out.
how do you maintain now? The outside, or you don't maintain at all for the moment?
I haven't been doing anything, honestly, but I need to start running again.
Mhm,
Because usually I like to go for a run
mhm,
and do some small workouts at home.
mhm. And you also have to eat healthy, or say, like for me, like since I have a high metabolism, it's not necessary. Or
I try to eat healthy, but it's not like that all the time, no. I usually eat whatever I want.
okay, that's good. Okay, a lot of them are listening here. So they say, "See, Michelle, I can eat whatever I want."
Yeah.
Uh, and usually, when you go, I think your height is really good for high fashion model. How tall are you?
6'1".
6'1". Okay,
hmm
yes, that's pretty tall.
That's like 183, 184 centimeters.
Okay, because when I saw you, I would say you were close to 6'2" almost.
Yeah, almost.
Mhm. So that's pretty tall, and I also ask, I think, lean models, lean muscles and everything, because when I go to Milan, it's the type of model. It's like, yeah, with your looks, like tall, lean muscles, and yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. And because you have been traveling a lot, and then I say, like, those international jobs that you have done as well, because you have been to Asia as well, eh?
hmm
How was that?
Yeah. Asia, it was not what I expected. I was really kind of fearful to go because I didn't know how it was going to be navigating and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But my agency was very helpful. They helped take us to castings and jobs and all that. And we had translators with us. So the language barrier wasn't really much of an issue. But overall, it was pretty fun.
Mhm. And
I'm definitely
it
going to
was
go
in
back.
Seoul, eh? Was it Korea?
Hmm?
Was it
Yeah,
Korea?
Korea.
Yes. So, and did you learn to speak a little bit of the language or not at all?
I tried. I tried.
Mhm.
The only words that I got down packed was hello and thank you.
Well,
And that
that's
was
good.
barely.
Mhm. And how long did you stay there? Because I think it was more than 1 month. Huh?
Yeah, it was like 3 months.
Wow.
But I had to leave like a week early because I was my agency was getting worried about me being able to come back home
Yes, and
when
also
my visa expired.
yes, and also say, like, it was during the period of that the corona outbreak started. Eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got there right before it
Mhm.
started.
And how was it? Did you feel something in the environment there, or in the streets, or while working? Are people worried about it, or not at all? Or?
No, people there, they're already used to wearing masks because of the pollution that's
Mhm.
there. So it wasn't too much of a shock. And my agencies just encouraged us to, wear our mask and keep up our hygiene, wash our hands and stuff like that,
Okay,
and
so
not
you
to
were
go out as much.
only for work.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, 3 months is pretty long, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of long. I got a little homesick. I was missing my family and friends.
Did you have time to chat with them or like connect with them, interact with them through internet or the social
Oh
media?
yeah, that was another thing I was worried about because of how it was when I went to Milan and Paris, because I didn't have any time to do much of anything, and when I did get free time, I was just sleepy. But here I had a lot of free time because the castings they didn't last that long, and
Mhm.
I wasn't
And
as
then you had time
tired.
to. It made you tired. The long day. Was it more tired because you had a lot of free time, or tired of work more? Of
Um, I feel like work made me more tired because the work days would be kind of long, and you have to get up early. And to the time difference, it was like 14 hours from here.
so you had to
So
adapt to that
their
too. So it
daytime,
was.
yeah, their daytime would be nighttime here. So like I really had to, my sleeping schedule had to do a whole 180.
Wow. So also you said you missed a lot your family and friends and so on. Eh?
Hmm.
So yes, because I also wanted to talk about you said like you are more. And as a model, I think you are very open. You talk about a lot private life because when I was in my time, they always told us your private life, keep it private, don't talk. You know? And
Really?
with you, yes, it was like that at that time. And then what
Wait,
I
why
liked
was it
was
like that?
long time ago in the 2000 and something, it was
Well,
like you had to keep what?
why they do
Yeah,
that? Why?
because we're models, we're like selling an image at that time. So it was a lot more different. So they used to tell us, don't speak about your private life. And what I see with your generation, with you just talk about it. You just put it more out there. It's open. So, but it's really good because it's refreshing, something new as well.
Hmm.
So, and I know with your relationships, it goes well. So, like, you don't, did you ever face any critiques or not, about it or say, like, okay,
With my relationship, not directly, no.
so it
But
was not directly and indirectly, it was more.
and I mean, if there was, if I was turned down a job because of my relationship, I wouldn't have known. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Nobody, I don't think there's too many people in the industry now that are too judgmental about different sexualities and stuff like that because
Mhm.
most of everybody that's part of the fashion industry are it's diverse in sexuality and how you identify yourself and stuff like that.
But it's really encouraging because in this way we also show and also for other people that don't dare to speak about it about maybe sexuality, but they can see and say, see, someone does and it can give them also more hope to do the same at one point as well.
Mm,
So that's why I said like okay, it's interesting. I want maybe to also touch this subject to speak about it with you because it's something that it's I think it's quite difficult that sometimes that people say like I don't know how to talk about it. Should I talk about it or not? And for you, you definitely talk about it. That's positive. I think your agency is also behind you. That is also very supportive. These things
yeah.
are necessary as well. And I think,
Hmm.
mhm,
Yeah, that's I like to keep it open that way there's no
mhm,
surprises or weirdness.
mhm,
Like there was a time I met I kind of got a little criticism from another model, but it's just like didn't really feel comfortable around gay people, I guess.
Mm.
But that was an issue within himself.
See?
That didn't have anything to do with
Yeah.
me.
And how did you react? You did say something or not at all, or say like you let it go?
I just let it go. I don't,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
I
sometimes
don't
the
let it
best thing
phase
to do.
me.
Mhm. You have to keep your positive energy. So I have to say that philosophy as well. So like I don't want somebody to change my energy. If they have a problem, it's their problem, not
Right.
mine. Mhm.
Hmm. And two, not everybody's gonna like you. So,
Repeat, because
so not everybody is gonna like you.
that's true. But I think it's not about that. I think when you're in that industry, you want to do your job. It's sometimes yes, and it's not always. You have friends. You will have people that like. Some people don't like you, but yes,
Hmm.
it's like that. You cannot change it. You cannot be liked by everyone. No.
Right.
Hmm. And also remember in that part you did like this cowboy shoot, which you posted a picture and I liked on your Instagram page. How was that to do that? Because I think that was one of the few pictures that I saw that were like, yes, we saw really you. So yeah, something that you liked and we had a lot of fun. I think.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. My first time wearing heels.
Mhm. How did that go?
It was cool. Um, it was in New York at the Skyline. There were a lot of people there just looking and taking pictures. It was like a
Well,
hmm?
yes, I listened.
We did some video shots and still photos.
Mhm.
It's pretty
Well,
interesting.
was it for publication or was it more like a project or artwork or something like that?
It was like a project
Mhm.
for publication.
That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, And I also wanted to ask, do you have interviews where you say, I speak about this topic or not? Usually we do, because with me now we speak about it, but sometimes did you get an interview where you had to speak about it or you could speak about it?
No, this is my first interview.
It's your first time and that you have to, that
Yeah.
you have to, yes. But you're doing great.
Thank
And
you.
then to continue, I have some questions. These are more like myths, things that people believe that are true in the fashion world. And I would like you to give an answer. You have to give your thoughts on it. Okay, I will
Okay.
read them. Mhm. Models make a lot of money when they work. What do
It
you think?
depends on like what kind of job, but yeah, they do. They can make a lot of money.
Mhm. So it depends really on the job that it's like that. And then the
Right.
next one, models get to keep their clothes when they do a show or a campaign shoot or something like that.
No, not all the time.
Mm.
But sometimes designers and clients they'll let you keep some pieces if you ask, but usually like if they're paying you, they're not gonna be as willing to give you clothes for free.
And did you get some pieces in for some shows or some shoots?
Yeah, I did for one show in New York for Libertine.
Yeah.
They gave me this jacket and this sweatshirt. It's pretty
Ooh,
cool.
and then you keep it, you store it, and what do you do with that? Do you wear it or say like I keep it for later for one moment?
I think I wore it when I left the show. Yeah.
Mm, cool. And then the next one, models are all beauty with no brains. I hear that a lot myself. So
No, that's not true. There's actually a lot of models that are going to school and modeling
mhm.
and stuff.
There's, you know why they say that? No,
I don't know. I don't even know.
uh, usually I think they say that because models usually they start at a very young age, where they're still in schools, and in the past some of them used to drop out of school and pursue their careers, and they say okay they didn't acquire that knowledge at school that they needed to acquire at school, and I think out of that this sentence that models are all beauty and no brains came from.
Yeah, I notice a lot of models that start young are mostly girls. The youngest one I've met, she was, I think, 13 years old.
Mm.
And I was just
That's
like,
young.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really young. But that's the case with a lot of models.
Mhm.
I just couldn't imagine being away from my parents and
Yes, I think.
traveling.
Do you think they would have let you if you could have started at 13?
No, especially not my mom.
Mhm. She misses you a lot when you travel, I think.
Yeah.
Mm. And do you keep in touch a lot with your home front, or you don't have time to do that when you travel?
Yeah, I do. I try
Mm.
to make time to do that.
The- Usually by calling or other things, video chatting.
Yeah, FaceTime.
Okay. Oh, cool. And also, now my next question is more about model apartments, because you have been in Asia. I think you stayed in a model apartment. Eh?
Hmm.
So how was that? It's like, is it party all every day, or is it cozy? Is it small?
It depends on who your roommates are. If
Mm,
it's gonna be like a party every night and stuff like that. But it was fun. You get to meet people if you're okay with sharing your space. It'll be cool.
mhm,
But there are some agencies that don't allow you to have your own room. But my model apartment, I have my own room because I prefer not to share a room with somebody that I don't know.
mhm. But the space was quite big as well, eh? Or not?
Yeah, it was good.
Mhm.
It was big enough.
And when you were like in Milan, did you also stay in a model apartment or not? Or
Yeah, I did.
and there you had also your own space, own private space and everything.
Well, there I had to share a room, but it wasn't that bad.
Mm. And you learn to know each other, so that's also good.
Yeah, and you learn how to cook new foods and
Yeah.
stuff.
We have a question here. What do you cook? Yes, when you are like traveling like that. What do you cook? Thanks, Dimi.
D-Man, he was actually one of my roommates.
Uh,
But in Korea, I was cooking a lot of vegetarian food like tofu
mm,
and pasta, um, and eggs.
okay.
Love
Why
eggs.
that? Are you vegetarian or do you eat some meat as well?
Oh, I eat meat,
Okay,
but
but
sometimes I like to take a break and do like
yes,
a detox or something.
I'm the same. It's like I think now I practically don't eat meat. It's like that, and
Yeah.
I feel quite good. So for you, you take from time to time a break from meat and say like I do vegetarian. Okay.
Mhm. I think maybe one point in my life I'll try to do vegetarian
Mhm.
full on.
And what would be the reason for you to do like full vegetarian?
I did a week of it and I felt really good. Um, I had a lot more energy. I didn't feel as drowsy, but it's just a lot more work cooking without meat and stuff like that. And you have to find like different recipes and stuff.
Okay, but I think it's
It's just a
also a
lot
good
more
idea.
effort.
Yes, we'll come to it. I'm sure of
Yeah.
it. Voilà, I think I've asked a lot of things now, and I wanted also to know what's up next for you because since Fashion Week is a little bit on a hold now, and we are try to find new ways. But for you, what is next? Because I know Milan is postponed. New York will also be postponed. So
Yeah.
do you have some idea yet or not yet? Or
Mm, my agency in Korea wants me to come back as soon as, the travel restrictions have been lifted. So I think that would be next. But as of right now, I've been getting some castings from my agency in New York for like at-home shoots and stuff. But now I feel like it's kind of hard to tell what my next move is going to be because of everything that's going on. But I'm pretty open to anything. I
I
do
think,
need,
yeah.
hmm?
Can you repeat? Because I think the image froze a little bit.
I was going to say, I need to go to London sometime soon because I have an agency there that I haven't visited yet.
Yeah, and you haven't done yet London Fashion Week either.
Mm-mm.
So that will be up something for to do next. Okay, I think we have yes asked quite everything I think we needed to ask. So Ali, I just want to say thank you for this live stream. It's really nice talking to you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a bit of my story.
It's a pleasure.
So,
And also thing is like your story, because I think you have also seen on Instagram, I also have my own magazine. So it will
and
be
what?
in my magazine. I will show you. I have it here.
Oh,
Check it check it out. It's can you read it?
it's like backwards, like
Mirror for you.
mirror for you.
Yes. I will send you the link and
Mm,
it will be on that as well. So
that's
but
cool.
you'll get it. Okay.
Okay.
So I would say keep the way you are, keep yourself, keep being 100% yourself, believe in your abilities, and I think you will do well. Okay?
Thank you.
So have a good evening, good day.
Thank you too. What time is it over there?
Over here is almost 8 p.m.
8. And you're in Milan.
8 p.m. And it's yours?
It's about to be 2 p.m.
So, yes. So we differ quite a lot. I think it's 6 hours almost. Yes.
Yeah,
It's not bad. It's okay.
that's okay.
Okay. So I say enjoy the day. We keep in touch, and I will send you a lot of links. Peace.
Okay.
Uh, bye.
Bye. Stay safe.
Stay safe as well, Joshua.
All right. Bye.
Bye.